Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a cooking video. I'm going to show you guys what I eat during the day. So we're going to start out with breakfast, of course, and I'm going to use some regular, this is smokewood bacon, so it is pork. Sometimes I eat turkey bacon, but this is just what we have in the house. And I'm not going to really go in detail about this part because I'm sure everybody knows how to cook bacon. You know, you just put it in the pan, flip it on both sides, let it cook. So yeah, and while the bacon is cooking, I'm going to make my eggs. So I'm just taking one egg just because I'm making a sandwich, and I don't need that much eggs. So yeah, I just cracked it into a bowl, and for my seasoning I'm going to use this Mrs. Dash. I usually use the one with the yellow top, but we didn't have that, so I just sprinkled a little bit of this, and then I added some salt and pepper, of course, and I just mix it up because I'm going to make scrambled eggs. And so I'm taking a regular sized pan and some butter, and I'm gonna melt the butter in the pan so that my eggs won't stick. And I'm sure you guys know how to make eggs as well. I'm just, I don't know. This is just what I ate for breakfast, and you know, it's part of the video, so I'm just showing you guys. But I know you guys know how to make eggs. That's probably like the first thing you learn how to make. So yeah, I'm gonna let this pan heat up, and then I'm going to put my eggs in the pan and cook them. And so as I'm cooking the eggs, I'm kind of trying to keep it in like a big circle so that it can fit on my bread. I'm not really like making it all over the place, if that makes sense. And I'm using sharp cheddar cheese for my eggs, and I just sprinkle it on top and use like the heat from the pan to melt it because my stove is turned off at this point. So now I'm gonna toast my bread. I usually use white bread, but we didn't have any, so I just used this potato bread. And y'all don't judge my toaster, I need to clean it out, so the bottom is a little burnt. But yeah, let that toast for a couple minutes and then take the bread out, and I'm gonna start making my sandwich. So taking butter again, I'm going to spread it on my bread. And I don't know why I used this spatula, I just really didn't feel like washing dishes. So that's why I'm using a spatula, but I would typically use a knife. So now I'm going to take my eggs and place it on one side of my sandwich, like so. And then I'm going to take my bacon, I'm going to break them in half just so it fits on the sandwich a little better. And I think I have 4 pieces going across. And then I'm going to close it, obviously, and then I just cut my sandwich in half. And now I'm also making a smoothie for breakfast. I have these 2 different size cups, but I'm just going to use the small one since I'm also eating a sandwich. Typically I make the big one, but yeah, usually I don't eat anything else. And so I just like to search on my phone some smoothie recipes. So these smoothies are nothing like special, honestly. I have frozen mango, which I ended up not using just because I'm making a small smoothie. Lemon juice. I used a banana, which I only used half a banana, by the way. And some of this mixed fruit, which has peaches, strawberries, mangoes, and pineapple. So I forgot that I had bananas in the freezer that I put in there a couple days ago so they didn't go bad. So I used that frozen banana instead. And again, I only used half a banana. And then I just used the rest of this mixed fruit. There wasn't much left in there, so I just poured whatever was left in that bag into the cup. And then I did maybe like, I would say like a tablespoon of lemon juice. Not a lot, not even a tablespoon. And I added chia seeds. And the lemon juice, the chia seeds, like I really don't measure any of this stuff, you guys. I just do a little bit of chia seeds because if you put too much, you will taste it in your smoothie and it does not taste good. So I just do maybe like a teaspoon of chia seeds, if that. And then I also am adding my collagen powder, which I just started using. It's a protein, it's good for your skin, your hair, your nails, and your joints. And so I just add 1 scoop of that. And I'm adding some of this peach juice to my smoothie. If I have juice, I like to use juice, but a lot of times I just add water, honestly. But we had a little bit of this left, so I just decided to use it up. And I also added some cranberry juice, which this was my first time adding cranberry juice to like my smoothie. And it didn't taste any different. Like it was pretty good. And this is the cran raspberry one. I don't know how like cran mango would taste or like the tropical one. But yeah, and so I added water. I didn't show you guys that part, but I added water and then I'm just gonna blend everything together. And this is my breakfast. So I have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich with a nice smoothie on the side. The smoothie is so good. I love smoothies. And yeah, this was my breakfast. I was very full, so it was a nice filling meal. Moving on to lunch, I'm gonna have some pasta salad, which is very easy to make. So you're gonna get a pot of water, let it boil, and then you're gonna add your garden rotini noodles. These are also called tricolor rotini or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I get the Walmart brand or I get the Barilla brand. It really does not taste any different. So you're gonna add however much you need. I just decided to use the rest of this box because it wasn't a lot left once I put the first batch in. And you want to monitor it, of course. You want to stir it a little bit midway, and you're gonna cook them until they're done. Once they're done, you're just gonna take them off the stove and drain them. So I'm going to take a bowl, you can use any bowl, and I'm going to be using sharp cheddar cheese. Now we only had shredded cheese, but typically I use the Cracker Barrel block of cheddar cheese, and I just cut the block up into small cubes. I prefer cubes when eating this meal, but all we have is shredded cheese. And you know, it has the same taste, obviously, because it's the same type of cheese, so I just use that whenever I don't have the Cracker Barrel block. And you just want to put the cheese in the bottom of your bowl. Because next we're going to put the noodles in the bowl, and the steam and like the heat from the noodles are just going to help to melt the cheese on its own. And so I put the noodles in and I just let it sit for a couple minutes, and then I'll come back and stir it all up. And the next step is to take your dressing. I only use this dressing, only this brand. If it's not this, then it doesn't taste right. And I know it says light, but honestly it doesn't taste bad or like it's missing something. And you want to shake it really well. And I just pour this on top and mix it all together. Now again, I don't have measurements for the dressing. I just add until I feel like the noodles are nicely coated. And if I need more, I just add more, but you don't want to add too much in the beginning. But this is how my noodles look once it's mixed in with the cheese. So it should be really cheesy, really kind of stringy. And you can add less cheese if you want. I just like cheese, so I add as much as I do. But yeah, once you mix it together, it is a nice fine meal. And last but not least, we'll be making dinner, and for dinner we're having chicken quesadillas, which is another very simple meal. So I'm starting off with some chicken tenderloins, and these are, I believe, skinless, boneless. No, not boneless. Well, I don't know, y'all, but they're tenderloins. And I'm just gonna start by seasoning them, and I'll show you guys the seasonings at the end. But I just kind of bunched them all together so that I don't waste seasoning on the cutting board. And I use my seasonings, and once I'm done, I'm just going to rub them together to make sure I coat the front and the back really well and that they're all seasoned well. I usually use gloves, but because I don't have nails right now, I don't really care, so that's why I don't have any gloves on. But you can put on gloves so you don't get it like under your nails and all that good stuff. For my seasonings, I used adobo with the red top, onion powder, the same as this dash that I used for my eggs for breakfast. This is garlic and herb, garlic powder, and sazon. And these come in like packets too, but I found this bottle in the store. So yeah. So I'm taking another pan, letting it heat up first, and I didn't show you guys, but I ended up adding like a little bit of olive oil to the pan because the chicken was starting to stick a little bit. So before you put your chicken in, make sure you add a little bit of oil instead of doing what I did. And I just laid them out in the pan, had just enough room, and I let them cook on both sides. And then I took them out the pan and I cut them into smaller pieces so that they could fit inside of our quesadillas. So I put the chicken back in the pan to cook for a little bit longer, and here's me adding more oil, and I added a little bit of salt because my mom always complains that I don't put enough salt and stuff. So I added some salt, and she didn't believe me when I told her that I added salt, so this is my proof, mother. So now we're gonna start making our quesadillas. So you wanna put a little bit more oil in another pan. You wanna get a whole new pan, put some olive oil in the bottom, and you wanna get your flour tortillas. I don't know why we have the grande ones, but I do not recommend them. And this is from the old El Paso brand. These are the only soft tacos that we use. Yeah, but I definitely would not recommend using the grande size. I didn't even know they had grande size. The regular size is fine because like you don't even have a big enough pan for the grande size. So you guys will see me use it how it is, and then I'm gonna make another one and you'll see that I trimmed it before I made the quesadilla. So once your pan is heated, you wanna put the tortilla in the bottom of the pan and let it kind of like toast for a little bit. You don't want your stove too high, by the way, so maybe like, I don't know, 4 is good. And then once you've toasted a little bit, you're gonna add whatever you want to go on the inside of your quesadilla. I keep it very like basic, and so I just add whatever meat. So in this case, obviously chicken, and then I'm going to add my cheese. So I used Sargento's cheddar jack cheese for the quesadillas, as well as sharp cheddar cheese. once you add all of your ingredients to the inside, you're gonna go ahead and flip your tortilla over. Once you flip the other side over, you want to take a spatula and kind of close the ends. Obviously it won't be the ends for mine because it was so big. So I went ahead and trimmed it off, as you guys can see. So it's a little raggedy on the edges, but you just want to flatten and kind of close the ends. And so I'm going to make my second one. As you guys can see, I trimmed this one before I put it in the pan. So this will be a better demonstration using a regular size tortilla. So I'm just going to speed this process up, but still show you guys how much easier it is when you have a smaller size tortilla than grande. So I'm going to take my quesadilla out the pan and flip it onto a cutting board, and I'm going to cut my quesadilla first in half down the middle, and then I'm going to cut those halves in half again. So I should have 4 triangle pieces. And yes, guys, I'm using a paper plate because I don't like to wash dishes, and this was an actual dinner from my mother and I. So yeah, I'm just gonna put the quesadillas on a paper plate, and I like sour cream, so I added some sour cream on the side, and that is dinner, you guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.